Really going to feel the same way about it.
Well, not me. Give me city living anytime.
Well, we ain't got things in working order yet. Did you fire the pump?
Yes, sir.
Lay a fire in the fireplace?
Yes, sir.
Well, now, I want you to go out and get some wood and lay it by, because the first thing your granny's going to want to do is start cooking.
Yes, sir.
And bring them guns and put them up on a wall in there. The place won't seem like home to Granny without them guns on the wall.
I'll take care of that right away, Uncle Jed.
Ellie Mae, we'll leave the pots and pans to you.
Yes, sir, Pop. Mr. Clampett. Mr. Clampett.
Oh, morning, Miss Drysdale.
What is this?
Well, there's a cabin, just like the one back home.
But this is Beverly Hills. You have a mansion. Why do you want this?
It's a surprise for Granny. You see, today is her birthday, and she's been kind of homesick for the hills lately.
Then why don't you take her back to the hills?
Well, we was going to do that, but your husband was dead set against us leaving.
Milburn?
Yes, ma'am. He's the one that thought of bringing his cabin here.
Milburn?
Yes, ma'am. He had one of them movie companies to build it.
He'll pay for this.
Yes, ma'am. He already had.
What?
Well, I tried to argue him out of it, but he said it was his birthday present to Granny.
I'll give him a birthday present.
Well, doggy, he's born the same day as Granny, huh? You got a surprise for him?
Have I ever?
Well, he'll be back directly. Him and Miss Jane is taking Granny for a ride whilst we get the cabin ready to surprise her. And it wasn't easy. Getting that little woman out of the house was harder than getting a hot mule out of a cool barn.
Granny, go home.
Why did you bring me back here? My family don't want me.
What?
You heard them trying to get shed of me this morning. Go outside for a while, Granny. Take a ride. Make yourself scared.
Granny, they just wanted...
Nobody even remembered my birthday.
I'll go around to the kitchen and put the candle to the cake.
Right. Now, Granny, I'm sure your family wouldn't forget your birthday.
Did you hear anybody say happy birthday?
No, but...
Did you see anybody give me a present?
No, but...
As much as one little old posy to pin on my dress?
No, but...
A single crumb of a birthday cake with candles on it, or hear my kinfolk singing to me?
No, but... Oh, here comes Mr. Clampett. I'll bet he has something in mind.
Yeah, how to get rid of poor old wore-out, useless Granny, that's what.
Yeah, Granny, see, they brought you back. Now, we got a little surprise for you, but first off, we want you to put on this here blindfold.
Ah, they're fixing the fire and squad me. You're gonna stand me up against a wall and shoot me.
You hush that kind of talk.
Here are the guns, Uncle Jed.
I hear you, darn fool. Take him around back.
Well, you didn't say which wall.
Quiet and down, put on his blindfold, and come around back with us.
No, at least give me a running start to make it to the head.
Jethro, give me them guns and go fetch your Granny back.
Oh, well. The surprise when she sees the cabin will be worth all this.
Yeah, I reckon so. Oh, speaking of surprises, Miss Drysdale wants you to come right home. She's got one for you.
Oh, wonderful.
I put Granny in yonder and told her not to take off the blindfold till she heard the signal.
What's the signal?
This here?
They got me. They got me. It took them 2 shots, but they got me. It's a cabin. It's the little cabin from back home. I've done went to heaven. Thank you. It's just like I always hoped it would be.
I want that horrible shack demolished.
Oh, you can do better than that. Try happy birthday.
Milburn, have you no civic pride, no sense of social responsibility, placing that monstrosity in the very center of Beverly Hills?
Well, it's just till Granny gets over her homesickness. Believe me, it's a temporary thing. Now, come on.
Is that a promise? The cabin is only temporary?
Well, it's just a surprise for Granny's birthday. Now, remember, say nice things. Keep my largest depositor happy.
You are obsessed with money. Money, 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 money.
That's it. say nice things.
This thing's commencing to look like a brush fire.
Yeah, when you get to be Granny's age, you can pretty near bake a cake without an oven.
Oh, good. Here come Mr. and Mrs. Drysdale.
Fine. I kind of think they ought to be the first ones in, toting the cake. Ellie Mae, what's Granny doing?
Just sitting there rocking with a happy look on her face.
When the saints come marching in, when the saints come marching in, oh, it's nice to be here in heaven when the saints come marching in.
This fire is scorching me. Surprise, Granny.
Miss Drysdale, they done sent me to the other place.
Wait, Granny, wait. Come back.
Greetings, wealthy-type people. For my term project in sociology, I'm preparing a paper on the vanishing servant class. I've chosen this section of Beverly Hills for a mansion-to-mansion survey. Now then, first question.
We're in a hurry.
Oh, please, lady, I'm trying to get out of college the hard way. You know, graduate, cap and gown, pomp and circumstance, mom and dad, the new watch, proud of you, daughter, the whole bit.
Milburn, must we listen to this prattle?
Now, Miss Hathaway, get a move on.
Well, while we're waiting, how many servants do you employ?
With the gardener, 4 or 5, I guess.
You're not sure?
Well, who counts? Hurry, Miss Hathaway.
May I ask you how much you pay these servants?
I don't think that's any of your business. Come, Milburn.
Did you employ more or fewer servants 5 years ago? Did you pay them more or less than now? Did you operate a guillotine during the French Revolution? You have the kind face of a lower income type. May I ask you some questions?
Of course, yes.
Get in the car.
Right, Chief? Sorry, miss. When Mr. Drysdale cracks the whip, I must obey.
Do you find that automation and labor-saving devices are replacing the servants to the extent that it affects the labor pool of qualified domestic workers? One question answered out of 103. Well, that's the best I've done yet.
Well, howdy there, little lady.
Hello. Do you do the gardening here?
Well, I do some of the gardening and lots of other things besides. Place this size keeps me and my whole family busy.
Oh, there's a family of you. How many?
4, Granny, today's her birthday, and Ellie Mae, Jethro, and me.
4 of you? To take care of a place this size?
Well, don't look like much, but that's a 35-room house there, and then there's about 9, 10 acres of ground besides.
Fantastic. How much does Mr. Drysdale pay you for this?
Well, he don't pay us nothing.
Nothing.
No, ma'am. We don't expect him to. Why, if it wasn't for Mr. Drysdale, we'd all still be back in the hills. It was him that fixed it so we could live on his grand estate.
But he pays you no money for the work you do?
Is he supposed to?
Oh, I want to ask you and your family a lot of questions. Can we go inside and talk?
Well, they ain't in the mansion. They's in the cabin around back. Follow me.
A cabin? In Beverly Hills? Cabin in Beverly Hills.
Young lady, this here's my family. Here's Granny and Jethro and Ellie Mae.
Howdy.
Tobacco Road on Crestview Drive.
I don't believe I caught your name.
Jennings, Virginia Jennings.
Well, come on in, set a spell.
This is your house?
Well, strictly speaking, it belongs to Mr. Drysdale, but he had it put here first. He's a mighty nice man.
Yeah, I'm all choked up.
Granny, this young lady wants to ask us some questions.
That's the way for young folks to learn. Jethro, you light the fire under my soap kettle.
Yes, Granny.
Ellie Mae, you fetch the lye in the rendering.
Yes'm, Granny.
Granny, you hadn't ought to be making soap on your birthday.
Got to, Jed. We're plumb out.
You mean you have to make your own soap?
If I wanted, I do.
Well, can't you just get it from the Drysdales?
Oh, shucks, no. They use that fancy store-bought stuff. Much too highfalutin for folks like us.
Sure is.
My sociology professor will never believe this.
Fireplace don't draw too good, Granny.
Jed, I'm so grateful to have a fire to cook over again that I don't mind breathing a little smoke.
Haven't you had a fire before now?
Out here in California, no ma'am.
Not since we left the hills, pretty near 2 years ago.
Hope you stay and share victuals with us, ma'am. That's a fine-looking mess of dandelion greens Granny's a-cooking.
Ellie and me picked them from Miss Drysdale's yard last night. She caught us. Oh, was she mad, turned the hose on us.
Picking dandelions out of her yard?
Oh, not that she wants them for herself. Oh, no. Greens ain't good enough for Banker Drysdale's table. They have to have store-bought, butcher-cut, paper-wrapped meat every day.
Now, Granny, you got to remember the Drysdales is high muckety-muck society folks. Next to them, we's rough as cobs.
What do you eat, Granny?
Oh, grits and greens, a little side meat now and then, and a scrawny California rabbit if Jed goes out hunting.
Now, Granny, don't be poor, Martha. You know that when Cousin Pearl sends us a package of food from back home, ain't nobody in Beverly Hills eats better.
What does your cousin Pearl send you?
Oh, the best of everything. Crawdads, catfish, salted down possum.
We was hoping for some fresh-laid eggs, but Miss Drysdale says we have to get rid of our chickens.
Granny, your soap kettle's ready. Should I light the fire?
Not until I check the wind, Ellie. If it's blowing over toward the Drysdales, we better hold off. The smell of Granny's soap cooking just naturally drives that woman into a rage and fury.
This whole situation is an incredible anachronism. It's medieval Europe. It's feudalism. It's serfdom. You are vassals enthralled to a liege lord. How can this despicable anomaly exist in an enlightened 20th century America?
Doggy, did you ever hear such big words come out of such a little girl? Well, May, if you went to school, you could talk like that.
You never went to school?
Oh, not more than a day or two.
In your whole life?
That's right.
Granny, may I come back later today?
You betcha. We're gonna fire up my birthday cake again and open up my presents.
I'd like to bring a camera, a tape recorder, and a sociology professor.
Well, now, I can't let you give me no camera or recorder, but I will take a look at that sociable professor.
It's the truth, Professor. He's the president of this bank.
Now, Virginia, let's be realistic. Mr. Drysdale is a community leader, a respected man, a responsible citizen.
A feudal lord, that's what he is. And the Clampetts are his serfs, his vassals. They live in a little shack on the grounds of his estate. They have to poach dandelions from his lawn in order to eat. They'd starve if their family didn't send them food packages from back in the hills.
Let's keep our voice down, shall we?
Professor Graham, I have found a family living in virtual bondage in the very center of the wealthiest section of the wealthiest city of the wealthiest country in the world. They face poverty, pestilence, famine.
Jenny, lower your voice.
The four horsemen of the apocalypse are riding the boulevards of Beverly Hills, and he wants me to lower my voice. I say, let's storm this Bastille. Let's liberate the prisoners of the tyrant Drysdale. Let's show him this is the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Let's get out of here.
Down with Drysdale and death with it.
Yeah, let's get him.
Oh, Margaret, will you change records? I've listened to you sing the hillbilly blues that's coming out of my ears. But I put the cabin where no one can see it. All right, you can see it. Well, why did you go over there? Well, let them cook soap. They're clean people.
Excuse me, Chief. The young lady who was up at the Clampett mansion is here with the sociology professor. They demand to see you.
What about?
Clampetts. They wish to register a strong complaint.
Well, throw them out.
Let us see them, Chief. The bank guard says they are spokesmen for what might be described as rather an ugly mob.
What a choice. I can listen to my wife or face an ugly mob. I'll take the mob. Goodbye, dear.
Come in, please.
Mr. Drysdale, this is Professor Robert Graham of the Department of Social Sciences at the university.
Big deal. So what's your complaint about the Clampetts?
Aha, you've had others.
Every day, and I'm sick of them.
Have you no social conscience, no civic pride? Has your greed destroyed
Jenny, I'd better do the talking. Mr. Drysdale, are you responsible for a family of 4 hillbillies occupying a squalid cabin in the middle of Beverly Hills?
Yes, I am, and it's not squalid, it's clean.
Does it have modern conveniences, modern plumbing?
No, but they're very happy there. Or would be if Budinskis like you would leave them alone.
Would you live there, Mr. Drysdale?
Oh, of course not. My wife would leave me like that. Hey, wait a minute, me. No, I still couldn't live the way the Clampetts do.
food they ate.
And yet you expect your neighbors to tolerate a condition like that in the most fashionable street in Beverly Hills.
But you can't see them from the street. I was very careful to put the cabin behind some trees.
Ask him about their wages.
Yes, yes. Is it true that not one of them earns even a minimum salary?
So what? They don't need money. They wouldn't know how to handle it if they had it. I take care of all their needs. Anything they want, they come to me.
Well, Professor, have you heard enough?
I think so.
Well, I think so, too. And next time, keep your nose out of other people's business. The Clampetts are staying right where they are.
We'll see about that, you tyrant. Caesar had his Brutus, Charles I is Cromwell, and Drysdale will have his Ginny Jennings.
What a couple of ding-a-lings they are.
What a magnificent mansion.
Take a good look, Professor. And then I'll take you around back and show you where the Clampetts live. The poor people who take care of this beautiful estate.
That lawn, it's like a carpet.
Watered by the tears of the oppressed. Clipped by toil-worn hands.
Now, Ginny, save it for your term paper.
Cut loose with some fancy foot stomping, Uncle Jed.
Show them good weasels what for.
I don't know about you, but I'm as thirsty as a hound chased fox.
I dashed me up a pot throat, too.
Me too.
Same here.
Yes, Drew, I got you primed this pump.
Didn't do no good. Mr. Drysdale forgot to connect the water.
Well, take this bucket and fill it from one of them hose spigots outside.
Yes, sir, Uncle Jed.
Well, there it is.
Why, it's even worse than you described it.
Do you know they didn't even have fire until today?
Incredible.
How can the Drysdales sit up there in their million-dollar mansion eating store-bought, butcher-cut, paper-wrapped meat while their servants live here eating grass?
It's a throwback. It's 100 years of civilization down the drain.
Howdy, Miss Jenny.
Oh, hello, Jethro. This is Professor Graham.
Howdy.
Oh, hello, Jethro. What's that you're carrying?
Drinking water.
Don't you have water in the cabin?
Mr. Drysdale never had it hooked up. We's fixing to die of thirst. Come on inside. It's Granny's birthday, and we's having a square dance.
Isn't that magnificent? Starving, dying of thirst, and they can still dance.
The flame of the human spirit is hard to extinguish.
Inspired by courage like that, we shall lead these people to freedom.
Go on, Granny!
Stop this racket! I am expecting my bridge club, and we cannot possibly concentrate on our game with this dreadful uproar going on not 50 feet from my patio. I demand that you cease at once, or I'll have this cabin dismantled and hauled away to the city dump.
But Miss Drysdale, it's Granny's birthday, and...
That is my ultimatum. Terminate this cacophonous din instantly and permanently, or else.
Jed, does that mean we can dance or we can't dance?
It means we can't dance.
It means we must dance.
What?
If the chains of bondage are to be broken, let us break them now.
But I thought you said we had to dance.
We do, and we shall. But not here in this squalid cabin, no. We shall dance in that magnificent mansion.
Yeah, I'm for that.
Follow me. We'll dance the dance of defiance.
Jenny! Granny, you ever hear that dance?
No, but if I can watch her for a minute or two, I'll be able to pick it up. Come on, everybody, we're getting too crowded in here anyway.
Clampetts, you have danced now for half an hour in this beautiful hall. Has Mrs. Drysdale dared to show her face?
No!
That's right, she ain't.
Has she dared to utter one word of protest?
No!
He's right worked up about it, ain't he?
Now you see how the tyrant quails in the face of courage. You have danced the dance of defiance, and your fetters are broken.
Doggone it, mine feel like it.
Clampetts, now you must press on to ultimate victory. You must not return to that cabin. You must sleep here tonight. You must eat here tonight.
I'm for that. I've been for it all along.
Jethro, noble Spartacus, you shall lead your people to happiness.
Hot diggity dog, you heard her. Head for the kitchen.
Come on, folks, join us for supper.
Shall we?
No. We have ignited the torch of liberty, but they have won the battle of freedom.
You're right. To them alone belong the fruits of victory.
Right. Store-bought, butcher-cut, paper-wrapped meat.
I need you, yes, it's true. From the chart to my heart.
Throw in a pot, throw in a pan, Granny.
It's no there, we're gonna pack.
Move to the cabin way out back. Honey, baby mine.
Well, you two look kind of happy.
You betcha we are.
Granny and me's moving everything into the cabin down by the cement pond.
We've been in this mansion pretty near 2 years. Now we want to live the good life again.
Leastways for a spell.
Yeah, this is going to make things kind of awkward. I just told Mr. Drysdale that he could move in the cabin.
Oh, well, you just tell him Drysdale.
Yes, ma'am.
Banker Drysdale?
Yes, ma'am.
Wants to move into the cabin?
Well, leastways for a spell.
What in tarnation for?
Well, I didn't figure it was my place to ask, but I reckon he's got a good reason.
Because my wife has arranged to have this cabin torn down and carted away.
But she's gone to Boston. Why not just cancel the arrangement?
I don't know who's coming or when, but I do know the law. If the cabin is occupied, they can't touch it.
But she's the logical person to occupy this cabin is Granny.
Very funny. Do you see that double-barreled 12-gauge scattergun?
Yes.
Granny would scatter those wreckers before they could pick up a crowbar. And the city of Beverly Hills takes a dim view of shootouts.
Well, what about Mr. Clampett or Jethro?
I don't want the Clampetts to know what a fink my wife is.
Occupying this cabin for several days or nights would be an arduous ordeal for one accustomed to the comforts of city living.
I'm not worried.
There's no electricity, no running water, no heat except the open fireplace, no comforts of any kind.
Stop worrying. You'll do fine.
Chief, I am but a frail woman.
There's no such thing as a frail woman. Whoever named you the weaker sex must be the same idiot who said money can't buy happiness. Okay, you win. I'll stay here. I'm only a bank president with hundreds of employees depending on him. My health and welfare are not important.
Mr. Drysdale, you know I have never refused you any reasonable request. I have always been loyal and
Forget
faithful.
it. Chopping wood for this fireplace will probably be good exercise.
That's true. Chopping wood is considered very beneficial for the health.
Sort of like swinging a golf club.
Exactly. Promotes deep breathing, muscular coordination, and a keen eye.
Okay, you win. Just enough for tonight.
Chief, you don't expect me to...
Now, you're not going to let me down again, are you?
No, Chief. I'll do it.
Good girl.
Mr. Drysdale, Granny just wants you to know that if you want to stay here tonight, it's all right with her. Ain't that right, Granny?
That's right. You can stay here just as long as you like.
Well, thank you, Granny.
That's like Jed says. But me, I want to know what you're up to.
Granny.
Did you and the missus have a spat?
Mr. Drysdale, in case you need anything, anything we can do to make you comfortable, just holler.
I'll do that.
Jethro, dear boy, you have come to my rescue as a knight of old. And now the right is yours to claim a reward.
Oh, shucks, I couldn't take no money from you, Miss Jane.
Money was not what I had in mind. I was offering you a kiss.
Right out here in the open where everybody can see us?
You have a point there. Here are the keys to Mr. Drysdale's limousine. It is parked in his driveway, and he will not be using it again today. Does this suggest a way in which you might claim your reward?
It sure does. I like driving even better than kissing.
That boy's like a magnificent lighthouse, tall, strong, and sturdy. If only his beacon weren't so dim.
Just heard Jethro yelling. Anything wrong?
No, just youthful exuberance.
Well, I'll do that for you, Miss Jane.
Oh, thank you.
Miss Jane, why is Mr. Drysdale wanting to spend the night in the cabin?
Oh, he doesn't want to. It's just that his wife has forced him to. You see, she made arrangements for this home record. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Mr. Drysdale will be furious.
We'll help him fight.
No, please, Granny. He doesn't want you to get involved. Don't tell him I said anything.
But my shotgun's in the cabin there.
No, Granny, please. Mr. Drysdale knows the law. He knows how to handle the situation.
So do I, with buckshot.
I promise you he won't do anything.
Well, Mr. Drysdale, I reckon you're all set. That is, if you're still sure you want to spend the night here.
I'm sure, and thank you very much.
You'd be much more comfortable up at our mansion. Then we could sit a while and you could tell me your trouble, if you got any. And I kind of think you have.
What do you mean?
Nothing. I ain't heard nothing. If that varmint shows up tonight, use my shotgun on him.
What varmint?
Randy, are you pestering Mr. Drysdale with them questions again?
No. I was just telling him that my shotgun is handy in case that rascal shows up tonight and wants to steal a chicken.
Oh, speaking of these chickens, are they going to be here all night?
Yes, sir. This old plow's their favorite resting place.
Well, it's pretty close to the cabin, isn't it?
Yes, sir. That makes it real handy. If they get scared during the night, goes to squawking and yelling, you can just come out on the porch and talk to them. Call them by their name.
Well, he may. I kind of think Mr. Drysdale would like us to move the chickens.
Yes, I would.
Oh, it won't do no good to move them. They'll come right back to this old plow.
Well, then we'll move the plow. You run fetch Jethro to help us.
Yes, sir, Pa.
But, Professor, I've been offered $500 for the story of the Drysdales and the Clampetts.
I know, Jenny, but...
What a sensation it'll cause. Beverly Hills banker holds servants in virtual bondage. Entire family forced to live in tiny shack on his palatial estate.
Jenny, listen to me. Writing this story for a term paper in sociology is one thing, but writing it for publication is quite another. You can be sued.
For telling the truth? Professor, you were with me in Drysdale's office when he admitted he put that shack there for the Clampetts. He admitted he paid them no salary. He
can deny it now. And if the Clampetts don't back up your story, he can sue for libel.
They'll back me up. Why, if it weren't for me, they'd still be in that cabin eating dandelion greens and working for nothing. It was I who got them to shake off their bonds and move into the Drysdale mansion here.
Jenny, I was with you here, remember?
Oh, I'm sorry, Professor. I get carried away when I remember how arrogant Drysdale was about it, defying us to do anything.
Well, you did something. You got the Clampetts a new and better way of life. And you also got an A in sociology. Now, maybe you should leave well enough alone and forget about selling that story.
Well, maybe you're right. But as long as we're here, I would like to see how they're enjoying their freedom.
Yes? Oh, it's the young sociology major.
And this is Professor Graham.
Of course, we met in Mr. Drysdale's office. Come in.
No, thank you. Good to see you again.
Oh, incidentally, the chief was furious after your visit the other day. Meddlers, he called you. Troublemakers. Dinglings. He was livid.
But that's terrible.
Well, you must realize that Mr. Drysdale has been barraged with complaints about the Clampetts for 2 years now. He's battled his neighbors, City Hall, even his own family to keep them as they are.
You mean as they were? Their whole way of life has changed now.
Not that I've noticed.
What?
Where are they?
Oh, right now they're around back in the little cabin Mr. Drysdale put up for them.
Again?
The despot has extinguished the flame of freedom, stifled the cry of liberty. We must rouse the peasants to revolt. Come on, Professor, let's storm the Bastille. To horse! To arms!
The chief was right. They are a couple of dinglings.
Paul, Miss Jane says Jethro run off and... Well, he's gone.
Well, I reckon we can move this plow without him.
No, I insist that you let me help.
I'm sorry. Mr. Drydale, I do believe we can do better ourselves.
I guess I'm not too handy at this sort of thing, and I do have to speak to Miss Hathaway before she leaves. I'll be right back.
All right, Ellie Mae, you take one handle. Granny, you take the other, and I'll pull. 1, 2, 3, heave!
Come on, Paul, heave!
Drysdale has them working like serfs again. It's worse than ever. Stop!
Oh, it's the little girl that spouts all the big words.
And the sociable professor.
You shouldn't be struggling with this plow.
Well, it's hooked on the root.
And we want to get it moving before Mr. Drysdale gets back.
Come on, give us a hand.
No, wait a minute. Listen to me. Is Mr. Drysdale paying you to do this?
No, ma'am.
Of course not.
Well, we couldn't take money from Mr. Drysdale.
You hear that, Professor? The moment we left, he subjugated them again.
Where's Jethro?
He ran off.
Well, I didn't want to say nothing in front of Mr. Drysdale, because Jethro run off in his limousine.
Oh, Jethro hadn't ought to done that.
He's gonna get a whooping when he comes back.
No, he won't.
I say he will.
Granny, what Jethro did was good. It was an act of defiance. You should all try to be like Jethro.
Young lady, I don't hold with that kind of talk, especially in front of Ellie Mae here. What Jethro done was wrong.
No, it was right.
Now, Ginny.
You keep up that kind of talk and you'll get a whooping yourself.
I'm not afraid of the tyrant. I defy him. Down with the oppressor. Cast off the shackles of serfdom. Rise up against the villain.
Ginny, here he comes.
And we ain't moved this plow 1 inch. Come on!
Are you two troublemakers back again?
Yes, and we'll continue to come back as long as there are robber barons like you and a miserable hovel like this on the very edge of a $50,000 swimming pool.
That hovel and that swimming pool are both on private property, and so are you. Only they're staying and you're going. Now, beat it.
Ginny, we are trespassing.
Now read the story of the French Revolution, Louis XVI. Study the Magna Carta, King John. You too shall have your Robespierre, your Richard the Lion.
Hot diggity dog. You sure are more fun to drive than that old truck.
Jethro. Noble Spartacus, I hail you.
Well, I hail you, too.
I've come back to lead your people in revolt.
No, ma'am. I come back to eat. To fetch Mr. Drysdale's limousine. Sure is a doozy, huh? Wish I could take Granny, Ellie Mae, and Uncle Jed for a ride in it.
You can, you shall, you must.
Now, Ginny.
Drive it around to the very door of that little cabin and speed your family away to liberté, égalité, and fraternité.
Sure do my best, but I have trouble finding Anaheim, Azusa, and Cucamonga.
Wait a minute, Jethro.
No, don't wait. Strike now. Away, Spartacus. Fire up the torch of freedom.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm afraid you've gone too far.
How can you go too far with a beast like Drysdale?
You've got that kid so steamed up, there's no telling what he'll do.
Good for him. Come on, let's drive around back and see what happens.
Are you kidding? I'm getting you out of here.
Uncle Jed, Granny, Ellie Mae, come on! Come on, Granny.
Jethro, what in tarnation are you up to?
Hop in. I'm going to fire up the torch of freedom.
First, I'm going to fire up the seat of your pants. Morning, Jed.
Morning, Granny.
Sorry I overslept.
Yeah, it ain't like you.
Well, I was down to the cabin half the night trying to help Mr. Drysdale
Trying to help him what?
to get to sleep. Man can't sleep with troubles on his mind. He has to unburden himself to someone.
You was trying to unburden him half the night?
It was slow work, Jed. He kept dozing off. I finally gave up. I wasted 3 pots of coffee on him.
I'll mosey on down there and see how he's doing this morning without your help.
Jed, try Try and get him to tell you about the home wrecker that's come between him and his missus. That's what the poor man needs to unburden himself of.
Granny, I figure if Mr. Drysdale wants me to know about the home wrecker, he'll tell me without my asking.
Not if he's as sleepy as he was last night.
Hey, Buddy. Hey, come on, let's clear out of here.
What? Where am I?
You're in a shack that's about to be wrecked and hauled away. Come on. Hey, you better hightail it for the city limits. The Beverly Hills police don't take kindly to vagrants.
I am not a vagrant. I am president of the Commerce Bank.
Oh, well, we're glad to meet you. I'm president of U.S. Steel.
This is a real pleasure.
I've got identification right.
Where'd I get these clothes?
My guess would be the rag bag.
No, I remember now. My suit was getting wrinkled, and Jethro gave me these, yeah.
I got work to do, so hit the road. Here's 2 bits. Get some coffee.
Now, wait a minute. Who are you?
A1 Records. I got a contract to move this eyesore out of here.
Well, forget it. I know the law. You can't touch this cabin as long as I'm occupying it.
By golly, you know, you're right.
Put me down! Put me down! Put me down!
Hold on, mister. Where are you going with him?
What is this, a hobo jungle? No wonder Mrs. Drysdale wants this mess hauled away.
You ain't hauling him nowhere as long as I'm here.
You tramps gonna gang up on me, eh?
Be careful who you're calling a tramp, mister. You're asking for a fat lip.
From who?
Him, that's who.
Let me have a talk with this fella.
Okay, I'll be inside. He can't do a thing as long as I'm in there.
Hold on, buddy.
Let him go. He had a rough night. Now, can't you and me kind of straighten this out?
What's to straighten out? Mrs. Drysdale got tired of looking at that old eyesore, so she called me.
No offense, but when he is dressed up and combed and shaved, he is every bit as good looking as you. Maybe better. Before you come along, him and his missus was mighty happy.
I didn't come along. Mrs. Drysdale called me.
You old friend of hers?
Never met the woman till yesterday. She saw my ad in the paper.
You mean you advertised a wreck home?
Have to stay in business.
If you ask me, it's a mighty sorry business to stay in.
Look, Mac, I've wasted enough time. Now, why don't you get out of my way and I'll do my job, huh?
I reckon I can't let you do that.
Okay. I'll be back. With my partner.
Who was that, Jed?
That's the fellow that's come betwixt Mr. and Mrs. Drysdale.
Big, ain't he?
And bold.
What you mean?
Well, generally a man is ashamed to be known as a home wrecker. But that rascal's got a rope right across his back.
You're greening me.
That ain't the half of it. He runs an ad in a newspaper.
I can't believe it.
You ain't heard it all. He gets paid for busting up homes.
Ain't there no limit to what these city folks will do for $1?
Here's the ring. Did he leave? Yeah, but he said he's coming back with his partner.
Don't you worry, Mr. Drysdale. We'll help fight him off.
No, I don't want to get you people involved. Really, I don't.
Oh, that's what friends and neighbors is for. I'll go get Jethro to help.
Oh, by the way, when Jethro gave me these clothes last night, he took my suit and said he'd have the wrinkles taken out for me.
Oh, I'll find him, Mr. Drysdale.
We'll fight off them home wreckers.
Now, Granny, no shooting, please.
Buckshot is the only kind of talk them rascals understand.
No, Granny. The law is on my side. As long as I occupy this... See, I've got an idea.
Hey, how about taking my critters for a ride now?
Well, go get them. There's plenty of room.
Jimmy, I Told you that was Jethro who passed us doing 60.
Shucks, this guy will do better than that.
Jethro, where'd you get those clothes?
Oh, these are Mr. Drysdale's. Kind of little on me. That'll stretch the wrinkles out.
Where is Mr. Drysdale?
Oh, he's staying in the cabin now.
Living there?
Oh, he got throwed out of his house.
I was afraid something like this might happen.
Gee, Professor, I never dreamed they'd go that far.
I just hope they haven't gone any further. Come on.
Jethro, have you been joyriding in Mr. Drysdale's car again?
Oh, yes, sir, Uncle Jed.
And wearing his suit and his hat?
Oh, look what you made me do. Granny's gonna whoop me.
Well, she'll have to stand in line to do it. Now get in there and get them clothes off.
Fella tries to do the best he knows how. All he gets is yelled at and a hickory stick, hurting her squeezed to death in a city suit. Excuse me for living.
Oh, no.
Even I didn't think they'd go that far.
What do you suppose happened?
Too much too soon. I'm afraid you unleashed forces they were not equipped to handle.
Come on, let's help poor Mr. Drysdale.
No, wait.
Hey, what's going on here? Unfasten that chain. Turn him loose.
All I'm going to turn loose is about a pound of buckshot. There's half a pound. Where'd you like the other half?
Never mind. Forget it. Mrs. Drysdale can get herself another boy.
What do we do?
Call the police. It's gone too far for us.
Gee, I'm sorry, Professor. I'll never meddle again, I promise.
Come on.
I told you his kind would only understand buckshot talk.
You were wonderful, Granny.
Thank you. Now you can unburden yourself of all your troubles.
I'm afraid I haven't got time.
You got all the time in the world.
What makes you think so?
Ain't no key to that padlock. Been lost for 40 years. Now then. Little dip. That's so boring.
Hey, if you be good and help me feed all my critters, we'll take you along to Jethro's graduation today. Come on, give little Debbie a kiss.
Ellie, ain't your Pa and Jethro back from the jewelry store yet?
Not yet, Granny. What all was Pa buying for Jethro?
A four-bladed pocket knife and his first watch.
I wish I could graduate.
And you can't graduate without going to school.
Well, I don't like school.
Well, then you can't get no watch and no pocket knife. Yonder they come.
I know how I can get me watch and pocket knife without going to school.
How?
I can take Jethro's away from him.
Oh, no, you won't. You ain't gonna whoop Jethro on his graduation day. What's Jethro doing?
He wants to make sure you notice his new watch.
Hi, Ellie. Hi, Granny.
Hi, Jethro. What you got your sleeve rolled up for?
Yeah, doggone, it is rolled up, ain't it?
Oh, look at that new watch.
Ain't it a dandy? Uncle Jed let me pick it out all by myself.
We must have looked at 200-300 watches before Jethro picked on.
Well, let's see it, Jethro.
Sure ticks nice and loud.
Well, it's got the picture of a little mouse on it.
Well, I'll be switched. A mouse wearing short pants and yellow gloves.
He does something?
In his hands tell the time.
Ooh.
By the way, Jethro, I ain't got my watch on me. Do you mind telling us the time?
Oh, yes, sir. It's 2:98. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was reading the price sticker. Hey, you want the exact time, Uncle Jed?
Yeah, I'd appreciate it.
In 7 seconds, it's going to be exactly 2 minutes before... No, it's 4 seconds. In 4 seconds, it's going to be exactly 2 minutes before... No, it's 1 second. In 1 second, it's going to be exactly 2 minutes before... Went by. In a minute and 7 seconds, it's going to be exactly...
never mind the exact time. Just tell us the pert near time.
Pert near 12 o'clock.
Time to get Riddles cooking.
Now, Ellie, I want you to put your critters away and go out and help Granny. We don't want to be late for the graduation.
Yes, sir, Pa.
What time is it, Jethro?
In 14 seconds, it's going to be exactly...
No. What time is the graduation?
Oh, 3 o'clock over at the Music Conservatory at Miss Potts' school.
Ain't it a shame that your ma can't be here today?
Yeah, that is a shame. Pearl has been right proud to see her boy graduating from the finest school in Beverly Hills.
Jed, how come you know to pick out the Potts school?
We didn't. Jethro and me were just driving down the road, and that's the first schoolhouse we come to.
It's a school, all right.
Well, let's go in there and get you started.
May I help you?
Well, reckon maybe you can.
Yes? What is it you wish?
Well, I'd like to get my nephew started into school.
Here?
Yeah, here's all right if you got room for a desk and his lunch basket.
My dear man, this is a most exclusive private school. The tuition is quite expensive. Well beyond your means, I'm sure.
Does that mean it costs a lot of money?
That is precisely what it means.
Well, I can pay you if it ain't over 25 million.
25 million?
Yes, ma'am, that's all I got.
Dollars?
Yes, ma'am.
In cash?
Yes, ma'am.
What is your name?
Jed Clampett, ma'am, and this here...
And you expect me to believe that you have $25 million?
Well, no, not on me, ma'am, but my neighbor, Mr. Drysdale, he's keeping it in his bank for me.
Get me Melbourne Drysdale at the Commerce Bank.
It was funny how Miss Potts changed after she talked to Mr. Drysdale.
She's been real nice to me ever since.
I reckon that's because you're such a good scholar.
Well, even scholars got to eat. Riddles will be ready in a half hour.
In a half hour, it'll be exactly 23 seconds. No, it'll be 20 seconds. 19.
It'll be time to eat, and you'll be ready.
Hey, yonder comes Miss Jane. Boy, whether she sees my new watch, it's 3 or 4 times bigger than hers.
So don't go to bragging on it right off. Let her notice it for herself.
Oh, yes, sir.
Greetings, Mr. Clampetts, and congratulations to you, young graduate.
Thank you.
Oh, isn't that a new watch?
Oh, this one here.
Yeah.
Shucks, no, it ain't exactly new. Well, I've had it for pretty near 37 minutes and 42 seconds now.
Come on in, Miss Jane.
Thank you. Oh, just a moment. I have a present for Jethro.
You hear that, boy?
Yeah.
To you who are about to graduate, Excelsior!
Sure is heavy for Excelsior.
It is a book, dear boy. And always remember, books are the ever-burning lamps of accumulated wisdom. Read and illuminate your mind, because the mind, Jethro, the power to think and to reason, is the most important power that man possesses. Education is the answer to most of the ills of this world. And if young people are...
Excuse me, Miss Jane, but I kind of think you're dropping your bucket down a dry well. Miss Jane, you coming to Jethro's graduation?
Oh, I'd like to. What time is it, Jethro?
Oh, in exactly 23 seconds.
No, she means your graduation. It's 3 o'clock.
In the Music Conservatory over to Miss Potts' school.
He's almighty proud of Jethro. He's the only one in the family that ever made it clean through school.
Well, but Jethro is graduating from the 6th grade, isn't he?
That's right.
Then he has to go through at least 6 more grades.
6 more?
Yes.
Another 12 years, huh?
Well, with my help, I think he can make it in 6. Then, of course, he'll go on to college.
College? Gee whiz. All I want to be is a brain surgeon.
I think you'd better change that ambition, Jethro. To be a brain surgeon requires 4 years of college, 4 years of medical school, 1 year's internship, and from 2 to 5 years of residency.
Oh, no. Uncle Jed, I just think I'll settle for being an atomic scientist.
That that might take almost as long.
Jethro, you got a third choice?
Oh, yes, sir. Streetcar conductor.
Excuse me, I'll get it.
Streetcar conductor?
Oh, yes, sir.
Ed Clampett speaking. Oh, howdy there, Miss Pot. Say, we's all mighty happy and proud that Jethro is graduating out of your school today. But I reckon you're right sad to see him go, ain't you? You don't say.
There, Miss Jane.
Hello, Ellie.
Will you stay to victuals? Granny's cooked up an extra special treat for Jethro's graduation.
Sure she will. What is it, Ellie?
Chicken fried chicken hawk and crawdad burgers.
Oh, hey, come on, Miss Jane.
Well, I don't really have the time.
Oh, I can give you that. In 11 seconds, it'll be exactly 17 minutes before...
Jethro, Miss Potts is right put out at you. You're late for graduation rehearsal.
I am?
Yeah, you're supposed to be over to school at 12:30.
Jethro.
I'm sorry I'm late, Miss Potts. Hey, fellas, take a look at my new watch.
Boys, come now, boys. Jethro, this is supposed to be a dress rehearsal. Didn't you get a graduation suit?
Yes, ma'am, I sure did. Uncle Jed let me go clean into Los Angeles all by myself and pick it out.
Well, I hope you remembered to get a dark suit.
Oh, yes, ma'am. It's dark green. With big yellow squares all over it. And I got some yellow shoes to go with it. And the fella threw in a necktie for free. It's got the picture of a hula dancer on it. The lights go out and she glows. And there's writing on it that lights up and says, "Kiss me in the dark, baby."
Diana, please.
Shall I get you some smelling salts?
Yes, and Milburn Drysdale. Tell him to come quickly. It's an emergency. Mr. Drysdale, I fully realize that you hold the mortgage on my school and that the Clampetts are very special friends of yours.
And my largest depositor.
Yes, but under no circumstances can I allow Jethro to participate in the graduation exercises. Ceremonies.
Why not?
Because he'll make a shambles of them. In the first place, he towers over the other children.
Well, you knew that 2 years ago when you enrolled him.
No, I didn't. I swear it. When Mr. Clampett and Jethro were in my office that day, I thought they were talking about somebody else. A tiny little boy.
I still say let Jethro graduate with the other boys. I can't afford to antagonize the Clampetts. And you can't afford to antagonize me.
But the reputation of my school is involved.
Forget it.
There is something else that's involved.
I don't want to hear about it.
It's money.
Tell me about it.
Our certificates today are going to be presented by Mr. Theodore Switzer.
The philanthropist? The multimillionaire?
Correct. And if he is favorably impressed, he may endow my school with a very large sum of money.
Well, I'll have a talk with Jethro. I'll see that he wears a nice suit. He says thank you, he'll be fine. Jethro, would you come out here, please?
Be right there.
Ow! Put me down, Jethro!
I just want to show Mr. Drysdale my graduation exercise.
Put her down, Jethro.
Jethro, when Mr. Switzer presents you with your certificate today, he may ask you a few questions, such as, what do you want to be when you grow up? That is, mature.
Yes. What do you want to be, Jethro?
A streetcar conductor.
Streetcar conductor.
Yes, sir. I seen one over to Joplin once. He had a little gadget right here. He could squirt nickels, dimes, and quarters out of that thing faster than milk from a tall cow.
Jethro come back from the rehearsal yet?
Well, not yet, Pop. Hey, Skipper, look at your handsome Pop.
Sure hope it's his foot you're talking about.
I'm talking about you. Why, you're duded up like a preach on Sunday. Smell like a barbershop on Saturday.
Well, Ellie, I kind of think it's beholden on us to do Jethro proud at his graduation.
Hey, Paul, can I have some of that there slickum smellum that you got on your hair?
Oh, it ain't for girls, Ellie.
I want it for Skipper. He wants to look nice for graduation, too.
Where you going, boy?
I'm gonna get something to eat. Fella's got to keep up his strength doing the kind of graduation exercises I'm doing.
Jethro's heading for the kitchen. He's starving.
I heard him coming. That's why I cleared out. When that boy starts swinging a knife and fork, he ain't safe to be around. And I just hope he don't set fire to the kitchen with the sparks. Come on, Skip. Ow-wee! Why, this man must be one of them heartbreaking movie stars. Could I have your autograph, Mr. Fairbanks?
I figured I ought to get curried and combed a mite extra for Jethro's graduation.
You mean Miss Potts?
Huh?
Oh, come now, Jeff. That city school teacher always had an eye out for you.
That's plumb ridiculous. Why would a fine, educated city woman like Ms. Potts take a second look at me?
I'll tell you why. You're as handsome as a new buggy, and you're rolling in dough like a baker's knuckles.
That's plumb ridiculous. That woman don't even know I'm alive.
All right, now, let's run over this quickly. Diana, you will get Jethro's watch and set it back 45 minutes. Mrs. Potts, you will do the same with Mr. Clampetts' watch.
Well, that's a simple matter for Diana. But how am I going to get Mr. Clampetts' watch?
You're a woman, he's a man. Take it from there. Or would you rather have Mr. Switzer judge your school by Jethro?
I'll do it. I need that endowment.
Mrs. Potts, isn't this going to be quite a blow to Jethro, missing his graduation?
He won't miss it, dear. As soon as Mr. Switzer has gone, we will have a special ceremony just for Jethro.
Well, howdy, folks. Come in, come in.
Granny, you remember Millicent Schuyler Potts and her assistant, Miss Davis?
I sure do.
Well, Miss Davis has a few things to go over with Jethro.
Well, he's out in the kitchen having victuals.
May I take her out?
Oh, I reckon it's safe. The edge ought to be off his appetite now.
Well, where is Mr. Clampett?
Ah, like to see him, would you, Miss Potts?
Indeed, I would.
Oh, Dad, that woman that don't know you're alive is here to see you.
Hi there, Miss Potts.
Hello, Mr. Clampett.
I didn't figure we'd be seeing you too long about 3 o'clock when Jethro graduates.
Oh, Mr. Clampett, then you are coming.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I was so worried. You didn't RSVP.
I didn't?
And that's why I'm here, to extend to you a very special invitation and to make sure that you get there exactly at the right time.
Oh, we'll be on time, all right.
You promise?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, and you won't be late?
Oh, ma'am.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Granny, ain't there something cooking out in the kitchen?
Not as good as what's cooking in here.
Ma'am, you mind squeezing this other hand? Nothing's got my watch in it.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Did I hurt you?
Well, no, ma'am.
Oh, there, make it better.
Maybe a little bit. Granny, hadn't you ought to be looking after Jethro?
He ain't the one that needs looking after.
Here's your watch, Mr. Clampett. My, isn't it beautiful?
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Well, how are things going in here?
Fine, just fine.
Jethro, you hurry up and get into your graduation suit.
Yeah, it must be, 1:45.
Oh, it must be later than that.
What time you got, Jethro?
Oh, I got... Miss Diane, can I have my watch back now?
Certainly, Jethro.
Thank you. Hey, in 14 seconds, it'll be exactly 15 minutes before 2. Make that 11. Make that 10.
That's close enough, Jethro. What time you got, Mr. Drysdale?
Same as everybody else, 1:45.
Well, Diana, we must get back to school. Mr. Drysdale, may we impose on you?
My pleasure.
Oh, well, now we'll see all of you at 3 o'clock sharp.
Yes, I'll come back and pick you up at 2:45. That's 1 hour from now.
Oh, no need to. Jethro will drive us over in the truck.
Not on his graduation day. Let me have the honor.
See you later, Jethro.
Jethro, I think Miss Diane is kind of sweet on you.
Well, I thought so, too, at first. Then I found out she just liked me from a watch. Oh, hey, Uncle Jed, look at Skipper.
Jethro, you see if you can get yourself looking as neat as he is.
Skipper go with us to graduation too, Paul?
Here, let's go outside and ask Miss Potts. Maybe she ain't gone yet.
Come on, Skip.
There's only one way to tell time, and that's with the sun.
Granny, Miss Potts go?
Yes. And you know something? According to my calculations, it's done past 2:30.
Granny, you can't hardly put your calculations up against 3 store-bought watches.
Where you going, Granny?
The Potts school. Let them with watches be late. I'm going to be on time.
Well, can Skipper and me go too?
Time on.
It's just a small school, Mr. Switzer, but Mrs. Potts believes in quality, not quantity.
That's very commendable.
Well, it's been a pleasure making your acquaintance. I've long been an admirer of your money. Many charities and philanthropies. Well, Gloriamus igitur.
Well, your graduating class was a very impressive scholastic average, Mrs. Potts.
Thank you, Mr. Switzer.
With the exception of this one student, Jethro Bodine.
Jethro, yes. Well, I doubt very much if he'll be here today.
He's graduating, isn't he?
Oh, yes, he's graduating.
Excuse us, fellas. Is this here where you go to watch a graduation?
No, ma'am. You have to go around front. There wasn't no place to park out front.
Hey, isn't that Skipper? The one that Jethro's always talking about? Well, sure is. Where's Jethro? We're supposed to march out in about 1 minute. Yeah, it's 3 o'clock now.
I knew it, Ellie Mae. Jethro's gonna miss his own graduation.
I've got a great idea. Let Skipper march out and get Jethro's certificate. You reckon it's all right, Granny?
It's all right with me.
Mrs. Potts, I don't mean to pry, but if I'm to endow this school with a large sum of money, I have a right to know about Jethro.
Yes. Well, you see, Mr. Switzer, Jethro has a very definite inferiority complex. He doesn't like to appear in front of an audience.
Why does he feel inferior?
What?
Well, he's different from the other boys.
Different how?
Oh, his appearance, his size, his background, his manners, even the food he eats.
Why did you enroll him?
Frankly, it was a mistake. But once enrolled, I felt duty-bound to give him the best education I knew how.
Actually, Mrs. Potts has accomplished miracles with Jethro.
From the looks of his grades, I'd hardly agree.
Mr. Switzer, I give you my word. Jethro posed a most unusual academic challenge.
Well, it's after 3. I suppose we should proceed without him.
Thank you, Mr. Switzer. Diana, begin the march. Will you...
Mrs. Potts, you're entirely too modest. Academic challenge indeed. Why, it's a miracle that he can make these kind of grades.